Hi, I'm Matt Mahler with MovieWeb. It's a pleasure to speak with you today. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Likewise, season two is really beautiful. It's a great expansion. It's Deerfield Unleashed. I loved it. Very warm and thought-provoking. It's a small thing, but I'm curious what the title means for you and if that meaning has changed since you started.
Right. Well, the title comes from the novel, and the novel took the title from a John Prine song called "In Spite of Ourselves." And for me, it's a song about humanity and the things that bring us together and the things that unite us. And so I've taken that as a bit of a guiding principle for the show, that there is a warmth to this show and a compassion, because it's a show about the quest for happiness. And to me, there's a universal appeal to that because we all ask ourselves those questions about what it means to be happy and if and how we could be happier.
Now, there's an alternate version of this, a Stephen King version, where the machine divides the town
Right.
and pits everyone against each other. Why do you think that doesn't happen, or is that just not the show the world needs right now?
I think it's probably my personal sensibility that I am drawn to more open-hearted comedy. And I think, for me, this is a show about going deeper into the inner lives of people in a small town. And, there are versions of shows where you're kind of making fun of people in a small town, or, the Stephen King version where you're murdering all the people in the small town. For me, it's like peeling back the layers of these people and realizing that they're all much more complex than they might seem on the surface. And I just love those stories.
Yeah, it's a really generous study of midlife crisis or existential exploration. It's great. I You take these big risks with the finales. Not going to spoil anything, but if do you know, like with season one, did you know you would have a season two when it ended that way? And the same here with season two. You're taking a big risk. If it doesn't come back, it would leave us on a really questioning note.
Right. I mean, I think you're always trying to build to the messiest finale, no matter what. That it's just it gives you the most runway for the show, but also leaves the audience wanting more in a really great way. And I think feels climactic, when you're shaping the season and you're putting the stories on a board on cue cards. How are you trying to make it feel like it's all building to something that rewards the audience for being on that journey with you? Because, there's a lot of TV out there right now. And if someone invests in your show and your characters, you want them to feel like this has been worth it because we got to this at the end of the season.
Final question, I think. What did you sort of learn from Schitt's Creek that you applied here? What worked? What didn't work? How did it sort of influence your approach to this?
I learned a lot from working on Schitt's Creek. I think I learned a lot about the slow evolution of characters. That part of what was so successful on that show is that people didn't fundamentally change immediately, that it took 80 episodes and 6 seasons of living in Schitt's Creek for David and Alexis and Moira and Johnny to really evolve to the place where they ended up. And I think I also learned the value in the audience just falling in love with your characters. That show is really all about the warmth and the affection that people had for the Roses. And it is also a show where you might judge people one way on the surface, and then you realize there's a lot more going on over time. So there's a lot that I kind of paid forward on this show.
Yeah, it works. Thank you for discussing this great season.
Thank you very much.